Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. I'm the GCSE science teacher and in today's lesson we'll be learning about group 0 elements, and this is for GCSE chemistry. Properties, the atomic structure and the trends of these elements will be discussed today, so let's find out a little bit more. So you may have heard of these elements by different names, maybe the noble gases, maybe group 8, group 0 like I mentioned a moment ago. They essentially are words to describe the same set of elements. So we're talking about helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, and radon. And at GCSE, you really don't need to know huge amounts about the last three of those elements. It's mainly helium, neon, and argon that you could potentially be asked about. The GCSE likes to stay pretty high up on the periodic table in terms of the actual the rows as such. But it's worth knowing that all of these elements are gases. They're all non-metals, hence why they're on the right side of the periodic table. And more importantly, they're all very unreactive. And this is because they don't form molecules very easily, and this is due to their atomic structure. Now, this links back to this idea of a noble gas. What does the word noble mean? I like to make the connection with my students that noble, when you think of a noble person, you think of maybe a king or like a hero. Those people tend to have everything they need, right? They've got it all. And it's kind of the same with these elements. They have what they need in terms of their electrons. So if we look at the atomic structure of these noble gases, you'll see that they're full in terms of their outer shell. They don't have any space in their outer shell to accept any electrons, and they also don't need to donate any electrons to get a full outer shell. They all have 8 electrons in them except for helium, which has two because it's a very small atom. And this is important because when you see 8/0 in terms of the group number, or the group name, I should say, it's because of that. So the 8 comes from the 8 electrons in neon, argon, krypton, etc. But the 0 is because there really is no extra electrons that can be accepted. And in this case, that would mean helium as well, even though it doesn't have 8 electrons in the outer shell. So, trends then, this is where you're more likely to be asked questions about. So, you need to know that the boiling point increases with increasing relative atomic mass. So, as the group goes down, you can see the atoms get larger and larger. So, helium's the smallest atom, it only has 2 electrons in the outer shell, neon's a bit bigger, argon's bigger, etc., etc. That's the atomic mass, right? And this is because the larger the atom, the stronger those intermolecular forces are. And that means there is more energy that is needed to break those intermolecular forces. And therefore, the more energy in terms of thermal energy is needed, that means the boiling point has to increase. And that's where you get this idea that the boiling point increases as you go down the group because you have to add a bit of energy, a bit more energy to overcome those forces. I hope that whistle stop tour was helpful to you. If you would like more information about group 0 or 8 or even group 7 and group 1 specifically, I will have videos on my channel. I also have some information on TikTok and on Instagram at the GCSE Science Teacher as well. And if you do want any more GCSE content, if it's for chemistry perhaps or physics and biology, you can also find me on those socials as well. Thank you so much for watching. I've been the GCSE Science Teacher and you have been curious. Like I say, feel free to share, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.